Examples 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7 introduce some new sight reading symbols, and I want to run through these quickly before we actually play the examples. Now, first of all, we've got the 5-line staff and the 6-line tab here. The 5-line staff, on the 5-line staff, the lines and the spaces both count. The lines and the spaces symbolize notes that can be found on a keyboard or a guitar or any other instrument. To define the range of notes that we're looking at, we use something called a clef on the left side. This clef is called the G-clef. It circles and crosses the second line up from the bottom and designates that line as the note G. It's a certain G on the keyboard, it's a certain G on the guitar, and on any other instrument, but in point of fact, the G on the keyboard is an octave higher than the same G as it's notated here on the guitar. To write the clef properly for the guitar, an 8 should be written underneath this curving line. Now, that may be a level of detail a bit deep, but if you show the same G to a keyboard player, they're going to play a higher and brighter sounding G than the G that you would play on the guitar. As soon as this line becomes G, all the other lines and spaces take on names too. The spaces spell the word face, F-A-C-E, and the lines spell an easy to remember acronym E-G-B-D-F. Every good bird does fly. Even with the acronym in hand, it takes a little while to get acquainted with these notes on your instrument. I wrote this book with the intermediate player in mind who should already know where to find these notes, and so for them this will be largely a matter of review. But I want to make these symbols clear to people who don't have the instrumental proficiency. Now, next thing you would look at on the right side of the clef would be the key signature. In these examples, we've got 3 new key signatures. Now, what does a key signature mean? Well, it tells you what key you're playing in. A key signature with one sharp, as shown here, a hash mark, is a sharp. A key signature with one sharp is the key of G. Possibly, it could also be the relative minor of G, which would be E minor. And we'll cover all that needs to be known about relative minor in Excerpt 2. Actually, you could read ahead about it if you wanted to by looking at Excerpt 2. Notice that the major key that we're in with one sharp is G, and this is an F sharp. Every good boy does fine, or every good bird does fly. F sharp. That F is raised 1 fret on your guitar or 1 key on your piano from a white key F to a black key. The black key right above it becomes F sharp. Now that F sharp applies throughout the piece of music from the beginning to the end unless another symbol changes it. It also applies to the F down here on this space. Remember, F, A, C, E. This F is also going to be an F sharp in the key of G. F sharp is 1/2 step below G. So you can identify the major key of the key signature by going 1/2 step higher and 1 alphabetical step higher than the last sharp. For example, key signature with 2 sharps. The last sharp is a C sharp. F sharp is held over from the key of G, and the next sharp that's added is a C sharp, and C sharp is 1/2 step below the note D. So this is the key signature for the key of D major, or the relative minor, B minor. The example in the book is in the key of D. It's from J.S. Bach. And let me just add parenthetically here that we're using examples from the classics and not from the most recent hit parade because of copyright restrictions. However, that doesn't mean that the things that you learn here are any less applicable to your favorite top 40 song or your favorite classic rock piece from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Copyright kept me from using those as examples, but I did put in the song titles for many, many songs throughout the book, and all you have to do is tune them in on YouTube or some other free avenue, and you can hear even better than I could write it in notation what is implied by the text. Okay, so now we have the key of D here, and this would be the key of, notice we have F sharp and C sharp held over from the key of D. We add one more sharp, that's a G sharp. The space above the 5-line staff counts for notes, so does the space below it, and if you need to add extra lines and spaces, this is what you get. These are called légère lines. Some people call them ledger lines. It's just an extra line. You can add however many that you want, and this would be the note A. The space above, directly above the F, remember this top line is an F, is a G, so G sharp. And G sharp leads to the note A. So this is the key signature for the key of A. Just to review, G major, D major, A major. And that covers the three new key signatures that you'll find in examples 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7.